Good morning, guys. We're going to get back to decoupage today, and I will show you how I turned these supplies, and yes, these are baby food jars, into this. And the first thing I did was I removed these labels. I just submerged these in seriously hot, soapy dish detergent water for about 15 minutes, take them out, and then I removed, the label usually comes off in the water. I have a straight edge razor that I use, and I will scrape off any thick residue, then use a little baking soda and dish detergent to remove the rest of it. And then these are perfectly clean without the labels. And just to be on the safe side, because I've handled them quite a few times, it's 91 or 97%. I forget which one, but it's the higher one. It can remove nail polish, so just be careful with it. So, a lot of you know that I have a store on Zazzle where I sell several different types of paper. This is a very small bottle, and these won't even fit on here. They're too large to fit, but that's okay. When you use these delicate papers and you try to use one of those slide cutters, sometimes it bunches up in here and it gets stuck. So what I've been doing is this is just a piece of MDF that I have, and because it's got such a nice straight edge on it, it's pretty thick. And what I'll do is I will tape the paper down using the edge of the paper and the edge of the MDF so that I do a nice straight cut. And I'll use a little bit of low-tack painter's tape just to keep it in place. I then take a nail file and make sure you just go in one direction and file this right down the edge, and you can see that it makes a perfectly straight, neat cut. I'm going to do the same thing along here because I want an image to fit like a band right around here. And because this jar is so small, I can cut this in half and put one part on the front and one part on the back. So I'm going to use my napkin decoupage glue and decoupage all of these baby food jars. And guess what, guys? The napkin decoupage glue is finally back in stock on Amazon. So I'll have links below for you to get the napkin decoupage glue, which I strongly recommend, the Deco Art for the tissue paper also. And one other thing that I want to do is just wipe away the excess around the outside of the paper. Now once these dry, there's one more step to do just to the jar or over the decoupage. I'll put links to this. It's a clear medium. It's called Glamour Dust by Deco Art. It dries clear, but it's got an ultra fine glitter. I noticed in my video last week a couple of people asked me, where's the glitter on this project? So here is the glitter, and it's just a tiny amount. So one thing I do want to recommend is you get all of the brush strokes out, and I'll show you this when it's dry, but you can start to see already that there are little, very, very fine specks of glitter in there. And I'm just going to cover the jar, and I'm using this as my varnish. Because it's glass, we're using tissue paper, and I want to get a nice sheer finish. So I'll show you how this looks when it's dry. And I'm going to use a larger brush on this because the surface is so small and I really want to avoid those brush marks. That's better, that's better. That was my dog. He wants me to take him out. So while this is drying, I'm going to take my dogs out and I'll be right back. Now this is dry and you can hopefully see this tiny bit of glimmer on here, because I'm going to put these faux candles in here. Let's turn this up so you can see how this looks. I want to put a little glitter around the inside here so that that really shimmers as this candle flickers. And I'm going to use a very thin coat of triple thick for that, because this works like a glue when I'm using glitter. And I just want to put a very fiery, sparkly glitter around this inside rim. This rim isn't going to show. We're going to cover it up, but the inside, when we put the glitter on, you'll still see that tiny bit of glitter. So I'm going to add this glitter just around the inside of these rims. It is a very subtle, minor detail, but it's still going to catch that little bit of faux candlelight. So I am going to hot glue, just temporarily, the beads, the bottom bead here and here on each side, because once these are hot glued on here, it will be much easier to wrap this ribbon wire around it. I'll do that off film. I'm just going to hot glue the bottom part of these beads here temporarily, and then I'm going to take the clear stretch cord and tie it around the back. And I'll show you that. I have to do that off camera. It's really too difficult to see inside of the camera. Okay, so what I did was I put a little dab of glue right in the seam and pressed the bead in. And I did the same thing on this side. And then I tied this clear jewelry stretch cord around here. I'm just going to clip away this excess that I don't need. And the next thing I'm going to do is cover this area up. And what I did was I took wired ribbon and I cut the same length in both of them so I could wrap them around the top of the jar. So that it now looks like I have, a little bit of a hanging glass jar that we've decoupaged and added glitter to, and we've got these crystal beads to hang it with. So I'll do this to the other two jars that I have. If you don't want to put ribbon around here, I took some glue, glass glue, and I took a combination of sequins and pearls and glued them around that surface. So that way it will cover up the rim of the jar, but still look like it belongs on our pattern. Okay, so here is how our delicate little jars look. And I have two of them, as you can see, hanging here. And you'll see that inside where the faux candle is burning, you can see a little bit of that glitter. I think I'll turn the lights out so you can see how it looks that way too. So now with the light out, you can see our decoupage little orchids on there. You can see that little bit of glitter along the inside. And of course the crystal. These are the candles that have that wick in them that moves so that from a distance it really looks like you've got candles burning in there. You can see they give off a nice light. Let me put the light back on. These look even prettier with the light on, I think. All right, my friends, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for all of your lovely comments. Don't forget, Upcycle with Decoupage is over on Facebook. If you go over and like and follow the page, you'll be notified every week, not only of new videos, but about announcements. In the meantime, this is our video for the week. I hope you like this. A simple little pretty project. You can see that little bit of glimmer in there. And all of those links again will be down below. I'll also have a link to my Zazzle store where you can buy these papers and several others. And I'll put a few of these hooks up in the link so that you can have a look at those for yourself. You know, if you guys could share my video, that would be phenomenal. Thanks for sticking with me and tuning in, and thank you for all of your lovely comments. All right, guys, thanks again. I'll see you next week, if not sooner, with another video. Bye-bye.